Welcome back, Sai. How's your Sunday night? What's going on? Microphone test. 1 2 1 2. Thanks for being here. Thanks for jumping in. You a goddess oracle reading, but wrong demographic once again. But I can pull a few tarot cards for sure. Hi, Christina. Wow, it's been a while. It's good to see your face. Good to see your face in the little dot. Oh my goodness, I'm all over the map here. Yeah, I'm fine. How are you? Is everything okay where you're at? Everything, let me know if everything is good where you're at. I'm hoping so. Yeah, you had good timing, Citron. Good timing. I'm just kind of like working on a few bugs here. As you guys know, I'm not the most technically proud individual on this when it comes to this stuff. There we go. We're working now. I just can't see everything at once. That's my problem. I'm like trying to fix it. I just can't see everything all at once. But now it looks like we're good. Oh. Yeah, we can vibe out for a little while tonight. It's really good. It's good to see you, Christina. Big warm welcome to Andrew and Rebecca. Thanks for tuning in again, you guys. It's awesome. I'm trying to get the browser. I'm trying to get the chat thing rolling again. I love that little feature. all that classic know-how right out the window. All right, we're gonna pull a couple cards, or we can just relax. It's your guys' show. We can take it any direction. The forum is open. You can ask questions. And yes, Christina, I'm okay. I'm glad you are too. It's good to see your face. My goal was to try and catch up with everyone today. Catch up with mustard and wieners and relish, which is good stuff. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their long summer nights. Maybe you got some stormy weather. Maybe you got lots of hot heat. I'm just glad that everybody's here. It's safe and warm. Oh, and there's Mr. Steve S. Welcome, Steve. I was wondering when we were going to begin to start to see our bulls on parade and our Taurus friends come and chill out with us. Absolutely. Good stuff. Here, I think this is right. Never fear. Let your heart not be troubled, for Steve is in the room. That's good stuff. Steve, we came on a little earlier today. How's life in the Windy City? Hopefully you're all doing well. Hey, Ron, welcome. Big Warm 99.9, welcome to Ron and Steve. Love you too, friends. It's all about that love. It's pretty much all we got left. But it's all right. That's all we need. Yeah, I missed you guys too. Thanks for staying subscribed and staying patient with the channel. Felt like I needed to take some time to just listen. Look, listen, learn, as the teachers used to say. And yeah, we're just vibing out. It's tough to be away. There's so many times I thought about this crew and connecting again, but the time just didn't seem right, and I honestly just wasn't feeling connected for a lot of the time that passed in the first half here of 2020. That's a great question. How are you doing? Not the you, but the you inside. The you inside of you. How is the real you doing? That's the question. It's a question of the hour. Well, I've been very busy. I described my 3D life a bit like a train wreck, but that's a bit over dramatic. The train hasn't really derailed. It's just that it's been going really fast, and I haven't had too much time for these endeavors that used to keep me so happy, preoccupied, and feel like I'm contributing back to this little corner of the matrix, but it's been good. Everybody's come in with some exciting news, especially this afternoon. Everybody seems to be on the right track. Nobody's really derailed amidst all the weirdness, the hype, the hypocrisy, the civil unrest. God, the list goes on and on and on. I could name them for hours. I feel like I might have harped on the preppers too much, given them too much flack. But there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel now. I can sense it. I can feel it. Things are going to be different, but things are going to be okay. So that gives me those hopeful inclinations, I guess you could say. The world does need lots of love, Runt. That is truth. Hashtag truth. I kept thinking of that Jefferson Starship. That there's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. Right? Everybody is protesting. People lost their brains. They lost their minds. Started burning down a burger joint. That's a rough go. That's what we call that in the golf industry. That's a rough go. Like, be most excellent to one another. And optimism is good. And somebody earlier mentioned that optimism is kind of like a return, like a coming home type feeling of this Cancerian moon. So that's good. $100%, Steve. 100%. Sidestepping the fear, or turning the mainstream off. You know, mainstream, celebrities, the news, all that stuff. It just seems to be like this big malignant pancake batter of like sticky heaviness, hypocrite pancakes, and it's been tough. But yeah, in the waking world. But I think that if, these things are changing just ever so slightly, that venues like this, communities like this, new ways of thinking are going to, they're going to predominate, and things will start to get better. I hope. I mean, like, amidst everything, I watched some of the Elon Musk stuff and them catching the rocket on the drone ship, and just thinking about all the technology, and it was like mind-blowing. There were definitely some glimmers of hope. They were saying Mars by 2024. Like, my word, my goodness. Absolutely. And has anybody been like, I know we talked a little bit about the energies this morning and how people were feeling sort of that metamorphic vibe to their own energies. We're kind of like individually all transforming at the same time, collectively. But how are things on the dream front? And for Ange, the astral travel front? Have you guys been dealing with hopefully nothing too overwhelming, or glimpsing into anything beautifully relevant? Transhumanist ascension. The essential part of you. What do they call it? The 8 ounces of spirit that leaves the body, that consciousness that remains forever. It's just like staying in like this dirty Hotel 6, and then pretty soon housekeeping's gonna knock on the door, and the spirit will fly out the window, and hopefully we'll end up at like the Hyatt Regency or the Waldorf Astoria. That would make quite a story, huh? Yeah, that's taking me back. Steve, I was listening to, I think it was The Vogues, and that's the one where he's like, it's a 5 o'clock world when the whistle blows, nothing's got a piece of my mind. Not remembering much. Yeah, that's the way I feel. I've been having some very vivid dreams. They're like bordering on lucid, but then as soon as like they're set to go lucid, I tend to just wake back up into the 3D. So it's been interesting. Interesting energies. Hey, that's good. The hiatus is good. When I leave well enough alone, good things happen. Going out and living life. That's good. In a relationship with a Scorpio now. we were reading for Scorpio earlier, Steve, and we were saying, watch the temperature on the shower on the Scorpio. It feels a little chilly, so you turn the water temperature up, and then all of a sudden it's like scalding hot, and then you go to turn it down, and then it's ice cold. It's tough to find the middle, but I'm really happy to hear that's great news. That you're into some sharing. Very happy for you. 100%. And Christina, why don't you give us an update? How are things for you and yours and your community? Are you staying safe where you're at? So great to see you. And I've been so far out of the loop. All of the amazing viewers came in today and they're like, Venus is in retrograde. And I really had no idea. I didn't have a clue. I was like, I've been so far out of the astrology loop and I haven't even had my almanac guide. I was just kind of like going along, going with the flow, seeing, moon to moon, month to month, how things would change. But you guys got that dang election year down there. And it's just like all of this, like all of these news cycles are just like going off the rails, and like it seems like a new crisis is like instigated or invented every other day. But yeah, I've done my best to turn it off, but sometimes I can't because it does affect so much of what goes on in the day to day. I got a little music license, so we're able to share some more music with everybody while we do this. And hopefully this new format, I won't burn out just doing like reading after reading, and it'll just be like a vibe time. And tell us about her, Steve. Is she there? Is she watching with you now? Well stated. We can be the love that they're missing out on. But we're the turtles in the race. We are the turtles in the race, right? This younger generation is coming up fast, and they're living in the hyper now, so we just stay tuned in with the synchronicity. Oh, nice. A little Tai Chi, a little Tai Bo, a little Tai Tai, a little Pad Thai, a little Thai after overtime. Martial arts, yeah, that's good. I can only imagine. Do they have some pretty amazing breathing exercises around? I love breathing exercises. It's like my new favorite. Hello, Christina. We were asking when your internet went off, we were asking you to check in and let us know how your community is. Is it safe? Is it safe? Is it good? Well, that's good. It's good to have some intelligence around. It's good to have, like we always say, the wisdom is in the room. The wisdom is in the chat room. Just got some good workouts. Excellent. Yeah, I've been finding it helpful to work on my breathing a little bit. It's definitely helpful, you know. They say there's a virus floating around in the air, but I say to hell with that. I was here before the virus. It's my prana, and I'm not wearing a mask because, one, I don't want to die of pleurisy, and two, nobody, I don't care what government, what size of gun, you know, you might as well be waterboarding me if you're going to tell me how to breathe. It's just not fair. So, to heck with that virus. We squashed it. It's like, if you give it your power, if you give it your thought, and you give it your fear, then hell yeah, you're gonna succumb to it. It's like anything else. But yet, unfortunately, the unawake people that call themselves woke and experts, they just don't seem to understand the next level. You know? We're just too much for them. You got your yellow belt. You get a yellow belt, then an orange belt, then a green belt, then a white belt, then a black belt. I have trouble just getting my belt on sometimes. The plandemic. Yeah, the plandemic. Yeah. Too funny. Run, did you get to kick anyone in the face yet? It's so awesome to see, like, the gentlemen in the chat room. It looks like they have the exact same personal opinions on this whole thing as I do. You know, I'm not much on conspiracy theory, but the more weird that they make it, the less my theories seem like conspiracy. So it's good. Like, as far as I'm concerned, if you don't know what it is, it's probably nanotechnology. It's probably engineered, and there's probably already a patent. It's patent number C19. Yeah. And again, for it to be like a harsh version of, like, the SARS. Is your mom okay, Ange? Because, yeah, our seniors were at risk. But if they just would have... Like, up here in Canada, flu season is, like, it's excruciating. Like, it always takes its numbers on our elderly population. A long time ago, I used to, like, deliver papers. And it would be, like, every other week, the nursing homes or the seniors' doors would have big signs on them, like, you can't visit, you can't come in this week. And that was fine. Like, everybody understood. But if they would have just hit the airports and the nursing homes, I mean, I don't know, all of this cancel culture and all of this hypersensitivity about the police and all that, it created like this perfect storm. And it just seems like everything that's happening is undermining, you know, all that we work so hard for. Hey Steve, I got a music license, but it's limited to the artists that are on the art list website. So I can't play anything too mainstream. Unfortunately, I can't take any requests unless you request it and then I sing it. and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. You didn't get to Jackie Chan anyone across the nose? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, did you guys happen to see that new Tarantino flick? The one about the... it was new this summer. It was the Charles Manson subplot one, where what's his name goes in and he kicks Bruce Lee's ass. That movie was so crazy. I loved all the millennials that didn't understand why that movie ended the way it did. That's great. It's not great, but it's great. I know you understand. Like, if anything that I can do to, or offer as a resource for you, is there's an audiobook of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And, if you're open, which I know you are, it can really help put things in perspective, especially when you know it's coming. It's good though, Ron. I'm glad that you are taking some self-defense. It would be great if we could all just escape to nature. I wish we could sometimes. It's sad because of our family bonds, but it's good. If you can get a one-way ticket off of this quarantine planet, you've got it made. It's like your Black American Express, full access to everything, right? Fortunately, they got us fluoridated and sedated and under clouds and under the smog and under the weather and under the influence. At least they tried. But some of us are breaking through. Yes, thank you. There we are. Hi everyone, we're back. We're back again. And that Tibetan book, I like it. Because I think most of the phrases start out and they say, "O child of noble birth." Absolutely, Ange. Let not your heart be troubled. This is like a blessing. Better days. Better lives to come. Better days. Just to give you an idea of what we're listening to, through the songs here. I've been downloading as many as I can for us. We're now listening to Skydive by a band called Liquefy. I had some real folky stuff that I thought I downloaded, but I don't know where it all went. I think it's coming up very shortly. I really dig that, just that confidence and that knowingness that it's like nothing here is really going to break our stride or slow us down. We're here and we're gathering the spiritual intel that we needed, or for whatever reason we came, we saw, we succeeded, and we moved on. To just like spend the better part of 80 years avoiding the lizard army, and you're fine. Tinfoil hat and all. Absolutely, I'm always open to those links. I'm always open to those comments. 100%. And there's no baseball. There's no, like, things are so different. They're so weird. So maybe we were a bit ahead of our time. Maybe like kind of relaxing programming like this will pick up some steam. And has anybody got any good leads as to what they've been studying, what they've been meditating, what they've been into as of late? For me, I stumbled into some like Neville Goddard, and it's kind of heavy in the Christian end of things, but it's done in a way that is like a little bit more revealing than traditional Christian philosophy. It was kind of nice. His stuff sort of states that it's all about your imagination. It's all about what you can manifest mentally and then have mirrored forward onto you in your outward reality. It's actually pretty interesting stuff. But other than that, my brain has been on vacation. I stepped out of the esoteric. I stepped out of like the etheric, traditional liberal college type stuff. I had to study, I have to do my assignments, I have to go to work, I have to be a dad, all that good stuff. And it was just kind of like, I was on that railroad track for a long time, and now finally a bit of a chance to take a breather. So nice to be back, happy to be back. We just turn on the streams and let her go, let her fly. Says studying ancient ruins. Oh, nice. Can you imagine one day all of our stadiums and coliseums, like the Parthenon is still standing, I think. Is it not? On Acropolis? I'm kind of tempted to go and visit there. Oh, nice. Yeah, safe space is so important. When you can shut out all of the daily grind and go there. I love that. It's so nice. doing some tarot readings earlier today, and some goddess oracle cards. They're kind of fun. So now that you've got your martial arts training and your oracle cards run, you should go and find a deck of playing cards, just like a cheap 50-cent pack from a casino or from somewhere, and practice throwing them like ninja stars. Yeah, our history is out of control for sure. And I don't know, what do you guys think about this cancel culture that's going on? Like, no more Gone with the Wind, you know, can't watch Cops anymore. They're pulling down all of these monuments and statues. It's just so strange. Like, when it comes to history. Oh, those giants. You should ask Steve about the Minotaur. I think Steve was a Minotaur in a past life. Ten of Wands. This may be for society. This might be for, you know, the change of the millennia. It's only 20 years old, the new millennia. And that slight change that Steve was talking about, that's all it is, but I think we need to be pretty careful. Yeah, as trying as the old system was, you know, wake up, go to work for the man, you know, get your bi-weekly slap in the face from the government, like, that system, like, it provided a lot of security, and I feel like in the latter half of the last century, we traded away a lot of our freedoms for security. Security in a system that we found out that the purveyors of that system can modify and change on us at any time. And we kind of have to go like full obey, right? So, you know, holding on to our freedoms, holding on to our liberties, and staying true to ourselves. I mean, I think that there's like been a wake-up call to how important that is, as well as the love and the family value, right? But I mean, the angry mob, they've got a point. They got a point they're trying to make. But it's all happening way too fast, I think, way too quickly. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Oh, thanks, Steve. You guys are so generous, so amazing. And it's definitely helping as we can continue to download some more songs and we can keep this stuff on the air. I'm still in gypsy mode. I got another year and a half left before things will settle down. But the best made plans of mice and men are off laid to waste. We'll see how it goes. Right now it's just one moon at a time. Give me 30 more days. Every day is a new beginning, fresh start. I'm breathing, I'm thinking. I got 10 fingers, 10 toes. Yeah, absolutely. And it's the they. That's the part of that Citron that gets me. The they. Who are they? Right? It's not necessarily anyone that we ever elected. These are just like entitled, self-appointed technocrats and bureaucrats that are doing this to us. And it's shameful and it's heavily latent in hypocrisy. So it's been hard to watch. And even tougher when I go out to buy a bag of chips and everything's so damn confusing. I stand on the dotted line, and I don't wear a mask. I haven't. Except for that one video I did for you guys where I got out a dust mask. Because at the end of the day, it's my prana. Thanks, Ron. I think it's gonna move into a little bit more folky stuff. This song is called If I Were King by a band called Low Light. We can turn the lights down low. It's funny to think how far we've come. Like, when it was like mandatory, you had to have a torch if you were going to walk the streets at night. You had to have a torch. It was mandatory. They'd throw you in jail if you were caught walking around after dark without a lit torch. And now you can't even have a fire on your own private property without the appropriate permits. I mean, they've gone just bonkers. It's gone completely unnatural and sort of in a backwards fashion. But we're already ahead by a century, if not 2 or 3 centuries. So that's all right. We're just living out this life and kind of watching it with, buttery fingers and all that gooey popcorn. And hopefully none of you are too affected by any of it, other than this chance to sit around and bullshit about it, which is kind of fun too, to a point. Citron had the Dutch wine out last night. Citron, I'm going to pull a few cards for you. That's alright. The old 7 of Wands flipped out for you. Fighting the good fight. In 2020, we'll be seeing this card a lot, I think, for the remainder of the year. This is a card of judgment. I got a big trumpet in his hand, We'll make things great again. Absolutely. Look at all the wands, Citron. There's a 3 of wands, a queen of wands, 5 of wands, a 7 of wands. So, spiritual progression and staying on top of your game. No time for the dirty rascals, Citron, because you're maintaining as king of the castle. It's really good. I enjoy that you seem to have like an established foundation now. There's nothing that's going to come along and rock your world like it used to when you were younger. When things would change, sometimes you would feel the need to have to change with them or change because of them. And now that you're there standing in your power, and you're kind of like, no, I don't have to do a damn thing, until the mob is at my door. It's business as usual. And I'm gonna keep it that way. So it's good. You're staying rock steady, even though it seems like everything around you can get quite chaotic at times. This is very nice. It doesn't even really get the sense like you're ending a cycle, starting a new cycle. It's just like you're more on like a beeline or a fast train. Yeah, it's just wand after wand. So this is attentive to like your fiery side, fire signs in your life, and like I said, that attention and that progression of spirit is huge. You guys, this is open forum, so if there's anything you guys want to throw out there or ask, you go ahead. I'm hoping we can do some podcasts in the very near future. Like Christina has agreed maybe to come on in a Google Meet. We'll have one of these sessions where we just have a chat. It'd be great to have some of you like vocally out here on the program in the forum. It's so good. Twice now, Citron, with this 7 of wands. Don't give in, don't give up. Absolutely. There's nobody breaking that stride. Your girlfriend is an Aries, yeah. Well, with that 7 of wands, you're willing to fight. You're willing to fight and keep it where it needs to be, what it needs to be. Not fight with her, but fight for her. I'm so happy to see that many of the people that, have stuck with us and subscribed, just like 12 short months ago, people that weren't in relationships have now found some serious connections. So that's really good. That's really amazing. And Run, did you get a goddess card earlier today? Just curious. I don't think you did. I smell tacos. I hope I'm not having a stroke, but I smell tacos. Could be my roomies. Need to turn the music down? Okay, we can do that. How's that? Is that a little bit better? We still need to make some studio upgrades. Just ate some tacos. Is that why I'm smelling tacos? Just tapped in, pulling cards from Citron, getting the synchronicity of the taco. Okay, Runt, I'm going to give you a reading, an oracle reading, if that's all right. Good, thanks. You guys, I need that validation. I need that feedback. Because, as you know, I'm technically not inclined. You're going to have the 8th grandchild. That's amazing. Look at all these babies coming into the world. All right. Runt, what is going on? Here she comes. It's Nike. We got another ancient Greek goddess at the table here. This is your goddess. It is Nike. She is the goddess of ambition. Okay. I want to talk about the ancient Olympics. Beautiful. And I'll just get the guide out and read for you. That's a number 38. Okay, Runt, this is for you. The Greek goddess Nike asks you to be present to the beauty and richness discovered in your life so far. You have come this distance, so what are your wins? What are your victories? Celebrating them is key right now, to enable you to co-create even more. You're living in a world where you may have felt that you were not allowed to celebrate your victories, lest you be cut down for being self-centered. You know, everybody just labels the labels of narcissism nowadays when you just are trying to celebrate an accomplishment. Perhaps you were raised in a family that discouraged you from shining in an authentic way. Being successful at the game of life requires you to refuse the message that you are too much or that you are not enough. Your biggest win is to be yourself, accepting yourself exactly as who you are, releasing the idea that you are flawed in any way, and expressing yourself with authenticity. This is the true power of the victory goddess Nike. The goddess Nike has another message to share. If you've been struggling to move to the next level of your life, working hard and putting the time and effort in, you will soon find you are finally winning. Your determination and commitment to your intentions are manifesting in your life with beautiful results. When you are winning, the world wins too. Just remember to share in the bounty. And that's pretty fitting, hey? With that, think about how athletic those martial arts are, and they must be you must leave the dojo or your classes feeling great, feeling absolutely rejuvenated and revitalized. So keep on that track. It's such a good energy to be around when your body is getting fit at the same time as you're awakening and your environment around you is supporting your own prosperity. To feel the health and to feel an appreciation of your health is it's a big deal, and it's something that you should be very proud of, I think. I'm glad you let us know. You're gonna have an aunt or an uncle that's younger than the grandchildren. Oh Steve, that'll be something at the family reunions, hey? Oh, thank you, Ron. Thank you for sticking with us. And thanks for what you bring to the table. So should we pull cards for like famous people, or anybody? Should we pull cards? What should we do? All that love, yeah. But if it's a baby boy, you better be ready to go out and throw the football around at 65. We're talking about the goddess Nike and feeling physically good. You better be ready to be throwing that football around right up until the end. Okay, you guys pick the person, and we'll get some insight into the world of the mainstream, into the mainstream, because that's what like I've been curious about lately. Like, how do these people, like, how are they operating? How it was like that old was it not Art Shell? They are who we thought they were. We are who we thought they were. Yeah, absolutely. Runt, you go ahead and pick. We'll be like 99.9 the Tarot Tabloid Times. The Tarot Tabloid Toilet Paper Times does tarot readings for the lifestyles of the semi-rich and the infamous. It's like Thunderdome, this old quarantine planet. 2 seniors leave, 4 babies enter. He'll get another crack. He'll get another kick at the can. He'll get another kick at the can. Billie Eyelashes? Okay, let's do Billie Eyelashes. I didn't even know who Billie Eyelashes was until just a little while ago. I asked somebody, I said, what's a Billie Eyelash? And they're like, no, it's a person. It's a singer, you ding dong. Welcome back, Midnight Star. Welcome back. Have you guys ever like gotten into that or read or heard that Tibetan Book of the Dead? That stuff. I was listening to that back in, I think it was the end of January. And it blew my mind. It really did. All right, coming up, Billie Eyelashes.
Are you ready, dear? Oh, we must be sure. There's no turning back once we're out the door. Leave your message here on the telephone, 'cause we've no idea.
All right, Billie Eyelashes.
Coming home. Any place we wander
I think I even have them here, Citron. Alright, 3 cards for Billie Eilish. And I don't know anything about celebrities. I just wanted to pick on them for a little while. There's actually some pretty favorable energies surrounding Billie Eilish. She's got, first off, an Ace of Swords up here. So we may see some more new music. We may see someone that is like maybe standing outside of the fray in regards to like that untouchable status, or that, like, you notice how nowadays nobody ever gets like really famous. There's just a lot of people that are a little bit famous. She's kind of like the exception to the rule there. She's been picked, she's been chosen, okay? She wears that crown of the establishment because it's hip to be square, as Huey Lewis would say. She's at the top of the mountain, and it looks like she might stay there for a while. Because I think deep down, with the Queen of Cups being here, I think what we're seeing here is kind of like a new age of celebrity status, where it's like, it's not going to go to their heads, the young famous ones. It's not going to go to their heads as much as it might have back in like when Hollywood was young, you know, or when the recording industry decided like who got famous and how famous you were going to be and how much money you were going to make. Now it's all in control of the artist, you know, and what they decide to do with their gift and what they've been given and what they've worked hard for. So I actually see some pretty good energy surrounding Billie Eilish. 9 of Swords reversed, up for her as well. Who says she may not have had to like compromise on her integrity to get to where she's at. She's playing by her rules, and it's like if nobody else wants to play by her rules, she's gonna go out and influence the way she wants to influence and not be dictated to, you know, saying you can do this or you can't do that, or you must not ever do this. Right? So it's pretty favorable energies, and if I were to make a prediction for this young talented star, it would be that she's going to remain on top for a significant amount of time. This isn't just like kind of like peeing into the wind and then like running away after, or getting as much of a payout she can. I think she's dedicated to her art, I guess you could say. There could be some ups and downs in terms of how she's feeling, but again, that's going to drive better art for that generation. So that's kind of cool. I have listened to the Emerald Tablets. What else was I listening to as well? There was Emerald Tablets, and then there was the Bhagavad Gita, the Gigabyte, the Bhagavad, I can't even say it. The Bhagavad Gita, the one about the Indian warrior visited by the gods on the battlefield. Bhagavad, I can't even say it.
Mother Nature's procuring. There's no need for doubt in his mind. You came reassuring. Mother Nature's procuring. There's no need for doubt in his mind.
The Book of Enoch. I tried to get through that one, Steve.
In a cup full of time. In these holy ways and this
And I remember once when I was younger, I had a copy of scripture that still had the book of Enoch in it. And that was like 30 years ago, and I have no idea how old the book was. But it was like a full set of scriptures that had like the 69 books instead of the 66 books. And I remember that one being in it. And so was the Song of the Solomon. I remember those from a long time ago. Mother Nature's procuring. There's no need for doubt in his mind. And our eyes align like the sun through the pines in a silent space, in a cup full of time. In these holy ways, in this disorderly life, I let go of my hand in the jar. And our eyes align like the sun through the pines, in a silent space, in a cup full of time. In these holy ways, in this disorderly life, I let go of my hand in a jar. A bit of thank you, Grapefruit. In a jar. I let go of my hand in the jar. The New York Football Giants, or the San Francisco Giants. I was watching some of the, David Wilcock, and the Corey Good stuff. Some of those documentaries. And I think they were talking about giants. A little Irish and Billie Eilish. I don't know. I was doing my homework the other day, and I got this music license, and I started browsing in the library, and I just turned it on and started listening, and if I heard a catchy tune, I'd press download, and I thought, hey, this would be a good one for the 99.9, and so now I'm just playing the list for us, and hopefully over the next couple days I can keep the music fresh and the cycle going. Yeah. Which is why, I don't hold on to my guilt, but I definitely did feel the pain of being away and not having this forum up for us, because it is pleasurable to collect and to chat and share. Almost wish there was some type of subsidy. There should be a once in a lifetime or once every 10 years you should be given I don't know, let's just pick a number, $10,000 and 6 months to just go and hit the open road and visit and allow your spirit to be free. Well, I don't know if you should be given it, but if you've worked hard for it, they should match you at least dollar for dollar so that you can go out and do something enjoyable and set up camp in a natural, national, treasured place that, because the geographical locations, when it comes to soul and spirit expansion, they can be monumental in terms of helping facilitate the energies around you for that kind of stuff. It can be quite tough. Like if you're in the suburban paradise, or if you're in like the concrete jungle, to have these natural expressions, oftentimes like we're limited into what we can see, and we get comfortable and secure and cozy and maybe see them on TV and stuff. But if we all just had that opportunity, that space to go and dedicate a significant portion of life to soul expansion, a perfectly safe space and affordable space to go and do that in, I think people would be much more unified, productive, and creative.
Even when the heart gets going, even when I've lost all control, I know that you're calling me to you.
What is it, like 7.1 billion autonomous beings? It's a good point, Steve. It raises an interesting question.
Jesus, let your love take over me.
Colliding can be good, but imposing's not good.
I'll sing with all of my heart. Still your praise I'll shout from the morning.
That's good. I hope we all find our space. I hope we all find like our version of heaven on earth in this lifetime, and that we have more time to just experience as spirit rather than physical sensation. It's like a tightrope.
Because of your relentless pursuit, I owe everything I am to you. Forever I'll sing, forever I'll sing.
And what really stands in our way of doing that, if we get in touch with the feeling of our success, about what that means to create love and to pay good deeds forward and lift others up and all that, we all have that innate ability. But it's interesting that in doing so, we can left being with this feeling of being so taxed by it, right? Oh, well, I just don't have time. I just don't have the money. I just don't have the space. I just don't have this or that, right? But we all have that innate ability to do that for ourselves and others. Our environment, however, has just been really constricted so that it's more of like a fight to be able to do it. And we shouldn't have to fight to be able to do that kind of stuff, to live life in that kind of way. But I mean, burning down cities is not the way. There's a lot of like diluted ideas that are still like 100 years behind where we're at. But it would be very nice to have that. Yeah, join in. If you're new, if you're checking us out for the first time, we're not always this crazy. Sometimes we're even crazier. But it's a Sunday night. It's getting a little late, so we're a little mellow. The clock on the wall says 3 o'clock. That's right. It's kind of like that whole, we were here first type thing. But we're all co-creating this place together. I don't know. You have to fact check me on the amount of autonomous human beings there are on the planet right now.
Push me out to sea, baby. It's the best thing for us.
But we're all doing it here, together.
Happy out there, baby. Fish below and stars above. And you'll be happy
And I think, like, given the secondhand economy and given, thank goodness for our food people, for our farmers, our agricultural people that have dedicated their whole lives to providing us all with food. Like, Monsanto aside, they can GTFO, but, like, the grassroots rancher and the grassroots farmer and those people that care about the land, and the land gives back to them in such abundance that they're able to share it with the world. I mean, big ups to those guys. Like Citron was mentioning, spending a little time in the garden, growing a little bit of veg, eating those wholesome things. I think we really, at some level, are all like searching for a means to exist in a bit of a simpler way. However, the inundation of the technology, it's almost like a bad episode of Star Trek where, like, we beam down and then all of a sudden we're like given a choice to go back to the Dark Ages or turn into the Borg, like in a bad Which Would You Rather. And we're like, no, just give us the here and now. Just give us a little bit of room to breathe. Just give us a little bit of choice, time off, right? And that's the thing about the autonomous being, getting connected, turning off the stream, turning off the screen, and turning on your attention back to Mother Nature. And then if you're ever feeling a little bit disconnected, a little bit lonely or lost, you can click back in, turn the screen back on, and come on and find some friends. But I totally get it. I mean, it's tough, especially for the generation that's been being born into all this technology. It's going to be very important to educate them in these simpler ways. And hopefully they find a way to do it. I'm confident that they will. I've seen a lot of bees this year. I remember the big scare when they were like, oh, the bees are all dying and the bees are all going away. But it seems to me as though there's been a resurgence. I mean, up here where I'm at, there's a lot. There's bees in the wild, and then there's bees that people look after. The wasps, on the other hand, they can go hang out with the lizard army. We don't need those guys. They don't even pollinate anything. They just come along and bite you. Okay, Ron, good night. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being here. I hope to see you again real soon. Hopefully the content's going to improve. We can Ron. And thanks for working hard on the martial arts thing. Your energy's phenomenal tonight. Have a great week. And keep that healthy feeling. So good. What is that? What was that old song where it was like, teach your children well, their father's hell will slowly go by. Oh, I can't think of it. I can't even sing it. It's like an old folk song. It's almost as, instead of like foreign exchange students, we need to do like student exchanges where, if you're born in an inner city, in a rough and tumble neighborhood, you get a couple months of the school year to go and live life out in the countryside and learn how to ride a horse and learn how to care for the land, you know. And if you're born in the countryside, you can come in and you can see all the bright and shining lights for a few months and ride the metro and ride the train and you know, tour around all the port cities and get caught up in the high-end energy of the urban living. That would be a cool student exchange. I think that would teach a lot of tolerance and understanding for like our fellow people, just even here on this side of the world. Who's got a Prince of Cups? Why is the Knight of Cups here? We should keep brainstorming. We should keep coming up with these like ideas. That's why I like this forum, because like when I turn the stream off and I'm meditating, I'm really focused on like getting taken away, being shown what I'm shown, given the glimpses that I'm given, and I just like kind of float away. But when I'm in this type of energy with you guys, like especially today, I feel like sharing ideas and generating thoughts, you know, with good intention behind them is a pretty cool space to do that. Was it Crosby, Stills and Nash? Wow, I didn't know. I knew the song. I had no idea it was them. Steve is an ace at Name That Tune. Yeah, good old Chicago. Maybe I'll come in and I'll fly in and I'll come down and visit City Hall and grab Lori Lightfoot and smack her around a little bit, and sit her down in a chair. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. If we did it in the name of protest, it would be okay, right? I drove through Chicago once. We didn't stop. We just went through on the interstate. I think I was 10. Oh, you had to search for that? The Crosby, Stills and Nash. They actually taught us that song when we were little kids. Funny stuff. So what's next for everybody? What's new for everybody? Let's talk about future plans. I know Ange mentioned she's what are you getting, a fifth wheel? Or are you gonna get a motorhome or a truck camper? How are you gonna roll out, Ange? And what do you guys got set up? What are you looking forward to? What's the end goal here? Well, maybe not the end goal, but I want to see the bean, Steve. I want to go and flick the bean. I want to walk up to it and throw a quarter at it. I just love really bright and shiny things, I guess. That'd be fantastic. I could get with that. One day when I'm feeling in Nine of Pentacles energy, there's much to do and many unknowns on our horizons. A fifth wheel. Oh, cool. That's awesome. And where are you going to drive it when you get it? Where are you going to take it?
I was made to fall in love with you. I was made to fall in love with you.
Cool. Make your own gypsy wagon.
Sticking to the roads that we had left.
Sell dream catchers and
Summer eyes have left this place.
that'd be cool.
And everything I want to give you has been broken.
We totally can do it.
On your face.
We totally
I was
can do it.
made to fall in love with you. I was made to
Wherever I
fall
can.
in love with you.
Well, hopefully it won't be much longer. And we'll all be able to live free without their fear. Fingers crossed it won't be long.
Never knew a moment could feel so right.
Would you go and see the Grand Canyon?
Like this.
That'd be pretty cool.
Everything I need.
I heard you can like ride a mule down the side of the canyon. And the mules are like, they're so trained that it's like safer to ride the mule down the side of the canyon than it is to walk. Because they like won't take one step more than what they have to.
But I don't care what they say. Please promise me you'll stay. 'Cause I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, those F-350s, they can pull a lot of weight. They sure can.
The stars, 'cause what's mine could be
I was thinking of trading up to a big 350 or 3500. I haven't done it yet, but that day might be coming soon.
I'll be yours if you want it. You make me so bold. You make me
And that's totally fair, Midnight Star. Absolutely fair. It's tricky. I say I'm a gypsy, but I actually just have like 3 different locations that are like, they're not quite really home, but they're places where I can hang my hat, and I call it gypsy. But you know, to go off grid, to truly not be tied down, it can be I don't want to say frightening. It could be very nerve-wracking. Because that goes back to our debate about like, we do on this level constantly like barter our sense of freedom with our sense of security. You know, it's nice to, you know, live a few miles from school if you got kids, and be close to a hospital if need be. Like here in Canada, they call them snowbirds. So like lots of people from Western Canada will drive their fifth wheels and their motorhomes down to Arizona and stay there for like 5 or 6 months. Just like boondock out in the desert. An e-gypsy. feel like home. Yeah.
You make me so
And the other part, I feel like Midnight Star, because you're from further up north too, if I'm not mistaken. And even Steve would know, like, being from Chicago, like those winter months, the gypsy living, like that can be a rough go. You know, you don't want to freeze your knackers or your ding dong off. You don't want to take that chance. And I totally get it. But Sedona, Arizona would be nice. You know. It still gets cold in the desert at night. That Seven of Swords is popping up on the screen quite a bit. That must be for the people that are here vibing out and just watching us chat and listening to our craziness. The snowbirds. All those Canadian license plates coming down, clogging up your Walmart parking lots. Ah, yes.
So let's go back to the beaches where I always take you out, to the forest where we found that hidden path, to the sun.
I'll be right back. Welcome back, Flowing Age.
We were still alive, when we were still alive. When we were still alive. When we were still alive. Through this world, will you guide me through this pain? Will you always hold my hand when I need you? When I don't know what I'm doing with myself, I'm a lost soul, walking through this world like I have some idea. When I don't, and I take on the baggage 'cause I think that I can, and I wait for the right time to go with my plan and come to you and tell you how.
Sorry to dig into my bag of tricks here.
And when the morning comes, I will feel that I am brave again.
It's like Halloween.
And when you pass me,
Here's Citron.
I will smile and then I walk.
This is the package that had your name on it. Did I not even open yours yet? I know I opened one for Steve.
I don't
Yeah,
know
Steve's have been opened.
I don't know where I'm going. It's
Toddy's have been opened.
something in the way that
But I have yet. These are still sealed, Citron.
you do.
These are still sealed up. We never got around to opening this package for you. Oh my goodness, that's like 7 or 8 months in the making. I'm glad you asked me, and I'm glad they just happened to be at the bottom of that bag. Alright, let's do it. Let's open it up. Oh yeah, there they go. I don't have like extra cameras or anything set up, so you have to bear with me. You've got, I don't know how well these will present with the green screen. Look at the eyes on that little guy. That one's known as Esper. And the theme of this one is perplexing eyes. You know, those long romantic glazes. And those new discoveries. Things that make you go, or those eyes wide open moments. Like when you see it. And it, like, things that make your eyes bulge out. There's a lot of air energy here. Like, I'm feeling like windiness, like things being windblown or like windstorms. And also like protecting your eyes. I don't know if you have to wear like safety glasses or if there are certain times through the days where you might be straining your eyes, Citron, a little bit too much. And that's one of those things where you won't notice that you're really doing it until after like a lot of hours have gone by and you're like, oh man, my eyes are really dry or my eyes are really stressed out. So then you like go to sleep or you take care of them. But it almost feels like your ocular, something going on there where like your eyes could be stressed out. Look at this. You'd be joining Runt in martial arts class. Look at this little blue guy. Looks like something out of the Andromeda galaxy. Ready there doing the funky chicken, doing the cloud dance. This has a little bit more Capricorn, like earthy energy to it. But this is something to do about like kind of like soul armor as well. Like all those wands we picked up, about like kind of like staying on your game, staying on your guard. That's a big thing for you right now. It's like almost, and even having to do it rather quickly at times. Like all of a sudden you need to come back into like, it's not overly a defensive position, but you have to make sure that like, I don't know, it's like being sure or double checking or making sure of your sure. And this soul armor is more like there's padded layers. It's going on and on. So I just want to like kind of reassure you that you're doing the right thing, but to keep it in balance with when you armor up, sometimes you lose like free-flowing movement, you know? I'm not like here saying like you're totally guarded, but right now it seems like you need to be guarded and you're in the grind. We talked about this earlier just in my knowingness about like how you've been like kind of, you know, staying strong through all of this, through hard work, and the value of hard work is something that is totally underestimated. But this armoring of the soul, we need it right now, but we also need to make sure that we can find a place where we can drop all of that armor off completely so that our soul has time and space to be completely open and free, whether it's for a certain amount of time every day, but as long as you are giving it that room and that liberty to do so. It's kind of tedious because, you know, maybe Monday morning comes along or your next scheduled shift or your next big meeting And you've got to kind of put all that armor back on to like kind of go out the front door, because we get enamored with lots of information, and a lot of that information is really diluted and weird and harmful stuff. And I mean, it occurs to me that you have a great set of filters for like what you're able to take in. I just want to make sure that you're always looking to the next step of liberation and freedom and free movement. You know, it's great to build up your strength. It's great to build up your skill sets, and it's great to build up your awareness. But without the end goal, like, why are you building up all those things? Well, eventually, it's so that one day you'll be free to move about the planet with no restrictions. And at that point in time, it's like all of that armor can come off, which is really cool. Look at this. We've got something of a little bit more of a reptilian nature. You know, the serpent. And this is okay, because this is about speech. This is about things that are said. This is about things that are heard. And this is about sort of the level of engagement you may wish to have with, you know, that portion of yourself that maybe likes to drop that filter every once in a while and go out. I wouldn't want to be the person that put the bees in your bonnet or upset you. I know that for a fact. I mean, you want to talk about gentle beings that when they get riled up, you want to get out of the way of Mr. Citron, and lest you be the person that thought you could pull one over on him. Because I get this feeling like, it's not that you're a vindictive person, but karma cycles around you very quickly. If people with like ill intention or bad intention, if they come around you and they start touting that all around you, they're usually quick to get their just desserts around you. And it's usually because you say something so true and analytical that it shatters the glass. They're the ones throwing stones and living in a glass house. And then if they decide to put you in their target, it doesn't take much for you to just point out a simple truth that for some people that it can be so painful. Look at this. You got the trainer card, the super scoop up. I don't know. Maybe this is like a new Dyson vacuum cleaner. Or maybe this is like just like a good fortune thing. Maybe you win the Thanksgiving pantry at your local supermarket or something. But this is like a quick point of good luck. This is like a cleanup energy, like you're cleaning house or you're cleaning up. Maybe you entered your name into like a home lottery, or maybe you just like stopped by the Blockbuster Video and entered your name into the draw. I see you like winning something good, or I see you like cleaning something up, or your odds being very good on something that you enter. And you enter it freely. It's not like you're buying a lottery ticket. This is something where you enter freely, and your name happens to just get drawn from a hat. Hey, Shannon. Big Worm 99.9, welcome to Shannon. Haha. And dance. Don't stop dancing. Okay? Don't get antsy, just get dancy. I see you dancing here freely. Again, maybe this was last night. Maybe you were dancing last night, but you're gonna be returning to like some free-form dance, or maybe you'll be like in a dance class, or maybe you'll just be like shaking a tail feather one day soon. The good vibes are returning, and you're gonna feel like dancing, or you are going dancing. So that's good. Solar plexus energy. This card is yellow. I know you can't. Oh, maybe you can get a touch of the yellow. Okay, this is solar plexus energy. So this is very much willpower. The latter half of 2020, Citron, will be a good time for you if you decide you want to break any cycles, if you want to break anything habitual that, or if you want to drop things that aren't serving you, the solar plexus energy, the willpower, and that third chakra is a place where you can put some attention and make some very good gains here for the rest of this year. I like that card. The Mudsdale, the Clydesdale horse, being stuck in the muck or the mire. This has that Knight of Pentacles energy to it. This is this mudslide, this Mudsdale. And again, there's this air energy, this like very windy day, or this very kind of windswept energy. You know, maybe you're going full like, a little something against the wind. But it's like the energies are picking up. You're kind of like, ever been out in like on a spring day after the heavy rains, and you get your boots all muddy, and you're like, oh God, and then as soon as you get out of the mud, all the mud still follows you around because it's still on your boots everywhere, and it's just like a terrible feeling, and your feet feel heavy, or maybe it feels like you don't have any power in your legs, or the days begin to run together, and you start to get tired without like physically being drained, but you just kind of get that sense like, oh my goodness, like it feels like you're running a marathon, right? And there's portions of it where you're sprinting, but your feet are getting a little bit heavier and a little bit heavier, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. I would encourage you, Citron, to find creative ways to kick the mud off your boots, and the mud on your boots being a metaphor for like sticky energies, or like times where you're not feeling your best. Find creative ways to like lose that kind of that pulled down feeling, or that those heavier energies, because again, it's important to have that firm foundation like we talked about earlier, but it's also important that it's not so firm, and it goes back to that other card, that you can feel a little bit more upwardly mobile, a little bit more liberated to go farther, to see more, and to do more new and exciting things. It's almost like a calling right now. Then we got the spray bomb, okay? You don't have to go out and tag BLM on everything. I'm just teasing. Hopefully they don't censor this video for saying that. But you got the spray bomb, the red spray bomb. And what this means is it's like, don't forget about your own power, how powerful you can be when you're just being yourself. We're living in a time where a lot of people are generally very shook right now just because of the whole C-19 and everything else that's going on. You present in a way that it's like, it's almost got like that gentle giant feeling, but like you said, when it come back to that, this energy here, people can think that you're like upset or that you're on a warpath when you might not be. You might just be having a happy day where you're being yourself, unbounded and free, but that can be too much for some people. It's not really your problem, but the card is just saying, like, if you're getting any weird vibes off people, or people are seeming like too shook around you and you're just being yourself, it's because you actually do carry a lot of power with you when you're just being yourself. Again, with the muddy footprints. That's twice now with this card and this foundation. And the dancing and the slipperiness, okay? I don't know what this is about, where all this mud is coming from. Maybe you're gonna go out and you're gonna dig a hole and put your treasure in it, or you're gonna find a treasure map and you're gonna dig up some treasure. But this is something where I'd really love it if you could connect in with your earthy energies. It's very good, and it has something to do with feet. Perhaps maybe what you need to do is like, I know it's 2020. You can tell a man to get a pedicure. You don't have to get a pedicure, but I would love it if you were to like draw a salt bath for your feet. This could be what this is just like the release of like a lot of toxins come out through your feet, And it would be like maybe beneficial for you to just take like a half an hour one evening after a long hard day, and don't have to feel weird or silly about it, but absolutely like give yourself the full foot massage. And I'm talking about like the whole thing, like where you actually like massage in between your toes, like each one of them, like give it a lot of time, get those feet into that hot water and let the salt pull out all of the toxins from your body. What you could do, when you run your bare feet through the grass, it actually like rebalances the electrical charge in your body and connects you with the earth a lot better. We spend a lot of our time in like rubber-soled shoes or walking on pavement, and the soles of our feet rarely ever touch the natural earth anymore, and that can set our like electrical magnetic balance out of whack for too long. But also, if you can find a day maybe where you're getting like a deep tissue massage or like something to that effect, or if you go to yoga with your lady friend, schedule some time for like a real treat for your feet, like a real spa day for your tootsies, for your feet, because this is where like no matter what you're doing and as far as your health, a huge amount of toxins can be released, and it may be just what the doctor ordered. Okay. We're almost there. Citron, 2 cards to go. Look at this little pink guy, still full up in the clouds. Happy as a lamb chop. Happy as a what is it? How does the saying go? As a pig. He's just super happy. This card and the baby doll eyes. Going back to this. Leave your lady friend. Challenge her to a staring contest. Have some fun. Okay. Eyes are the window to the soul. And when you treat your eyes to the rest that they need, or when you treat your eyes to that which is like visually appetizing, it's almost like feeding your eyeballs a turkey dinner. Look at the images that make you serene, that make you happy. Where it's like, Steve was talking about the art earlier, where it's like, I could stare at that all day long, or I could look at that all day long. Well, maybe one day you just do that, and then when you close your eyes at night, when it's time for dream time, this is like a little like happy dream card, like happy dreaminess, so that when you do that, you're gonna promote some happiness in that part of your mind which is conscious in your dreaming state. So you like the dream can be like the new fascinating reality. The stress of the day goes away, and you're actually gifting yourself an extra 4 to 5 hours of pure bliss at night, and it's not just like knockout sleep anymore. It actually becomes a place that you go in your consciousness, in your existence, where you can actually draw more bliss out of life when you're not even conscious. And the last card here has to do with some matters of sort of, I would say, where the old gumshoes would say, keep your ear to the ground. Let me know if you hear anything about this. Let me know if you hear anything about that. Or, if you know anything about this, you got to tell me right away. Or, I heard that so-and-so said to so-and-so that she heard from so-and-so this, that, and the other thing. There could be some of that coming up. I'm not sure why this card is here. It has a lot to do with crown energy, but it also has a kind of like this energy of like not acting before you know the full picture, before you know the full scope of what's going on. And maybe that's why kind of like you're remaining guarded, is because maybe in your professional or your 3D or your waking life, perhaps you've not been privy to the whole story, whereas people are saying they're legit, but you get this inkling sense that you're not abreast, you haven't been privy to the whole story. So avoid acting before having your information fully validated. Like, you know, somebody tells you something, I mean, and it's easy to blindly believe them, and I know that you don't, but you could actually be going that extra step, Citron, and saying, like, tell me your sources. Tell me how you know this. Tell me where this is coming from. And then once you know that, then you'll have the clearer picture, and then you'll be able to act with more surety. Okay. So wow, I can't believe that reading was like 8 months in the making. Those cards remained behind that sealed package for a long time. But that was fun. That was good stuff. I like doing that. We'll have to go out and get some more. I don't even know if they go back, if I can get them back in their package now. I have to open them. Hey, thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a member. Should I do it, guys? We should. We should go get some more Pokemon cards in the very near future. Steve, I got yours here too. We could recap Steve's. I can't even remember. We did these like back in early January, I think. I'm so happy to hear that you're in a new relationship, Steve. I really am. I'm glad to hear that happiness is at some new levels for you. That's really good. It's just kind of going back and reflecting on those cards. Steve's out there wishing on the stars. 100%. And you finally finished arguing with yourself, I think. I think a lot of those cycles you were in, where sometimes you'd argue with yourself, I think those days are gone. Those days are long gone. I'm so happy. So happy. But those were fun. Back in the day, we did those. We should do more of those soon.
Just passing by. We lost our attention, lost the light across the ocean of our lives.
Citron waited 8 months for me to tell him to take care of his feet.
Know what's wrong to be with you.
You can't write this stuff.
You wanted
Where
to,
does it
all
go?
those parties without fun. Like
She bought us a condo. Oh, nice.
You know what's wrong.
A little romantic getaway.
I never felt you wanted to, like all those parties without fun, like a summer without sun.
That's good stuff. I don't have a lot with me. I got some stuff. We got the native spirit going on. Maybe we could pull one of these for Shannon. Let's do that. Because I don't think Shannon got a card yet today.
Forget your anger, drop the hate.
And thanks for the Instagram message. I got your Instagram message.
That's
good.
Today feels wrong. Tomorrow will be on our own. Everlasting game no one ever won. Now
It's amazing what salt water can do to pull the toxins out of your body. It's unreal. Life is good if you allow it. That's right. Just allow it.
To be with you, I never felt you wanted to, like all those parties without fun, like a summer without sun. You know what's wrong.
return of the white buffalo for shatter, for your animal's health. Let's see what the health of the white buffalo has to say for shatter. We'll check it out. Alright, the white buffalo. Abundance and security are flowing into your life. All things are possible. Balance and harmony will prevail. You may be called upon to stand up for others, but you can do this because you have the support of many beings in the spirit realm. In the Native American traditions, there are prophecies about the coming of the white buffalo. There's a legend that white buffalo calf woman, a mystical being, came to the people a very long time ago when they were out of balance. She gifted the people with a sacred bundle containing the white buffalo calf pipe to help restore the balance. Upon leaving, the white buffalo calf woman prophesies that she would return at the end of an age and that she will appear as a white buffalo calf. In recent times, white buffalo calves have been born, leading many to believe that this is the beginning of a new time. When this card chooses you, Shannon, it's an honor, for it speaks of a time of miracles and balance in all things. You are a channel for the greater forces in the universe. With their help, all is possible, but without it, things can be a struggle. Surrender to support from the Great Spirit. You do not have to do everything alone. If you need a little help, you just simply ask for it. You simply lift it up there and say, lend a helping hand, and it'll come. It will come. So, maybe what you could try, and what the book suggests, is imagine yourself as the white buffalo. Okay? The energy of this card will multiply tenfold. If you can imagine, just use your imagination to think about how would it feel? How would you perceive the world if you were the white buffalo? You're going to feel a lot of power in your muscles all throughout your body, and you're going to feel the solid connection between your feet and the ground. You're going to be able to feel the weight of your head and the warmth of your body. And this is stuff that is going to be used for you to have the confidence in the physical strength to be accepting of the miracles of the next portion of your journey. You are able to do it. You are able to go to the next level. And with this white buffalo, it lets us know that you have a very important role to play, not just for your animal's health or for your own health, but this is about the deepening of a gift that you will have refined in this lifetime, I believe, Shannon. And it will be to the point where it's what you bring forward and your ideas will have a legacy of their own. It's a pretty powerful card, that white buffalo card. It's really cool. Traveled in the darkest darkness. That's right. I'm just so happy to get an opportunity to be back and doing some of this stuff. As you all can tell, I'm a little bit rusty. But that's okay. No expectations. Just fun. Just good vibes all the time. Magic is everywhere. It's all around. All day long. All day, every day. And that's about it. I just have the 2 Oracle decks and the 1 deck of Tarot. And I just happen to have these Pokemon cards with me. So funny. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming tonight. Thanks for coming, spending some time. Rusty. I always think of Rusty from the National Lampoon's Vacation movies. His name was Rusty. So what do you guys... Is anybody making anything right now? Making food? Making a cabinet? Making a shelf? Baking a cake? What are you making? That's too young. But... you know, it's better than bashing your head against the locker for another 30 years if you don't have to. Yeah, thanks, Hans. It's a pretty important part. Kind of along with the new format of the channel. Like, we're kind of entering into a phase where it is all about synchronicity now. It's like... Steve mentioned it feels great to be around people to feel like spirit and soul expansion and as much as you can exist in that space of awakened awareness. But when that happens, the hyper synchronicities will begin to take hold and they'll begin to take root. And yeah, just like anything, whether it's a word, whether it's a vision, whether it's a feeling, a sensation, it's going to start to match up to all the senses, to everything that must be. Even all the civil unrest and the fear from the lockdown, like, that plays a part in the ultra synchronicity of everything. And it all seems like it's tearing our civilization down at the seams. But just ride it out. Just wait and see. There is magic in the days that are ahead. And for our children. And for our grandchildren. Well, for Steve's grandchildren. I don't have any grandchildren yet. Maybe one day. But it's going to be okay because we're like setting the stage. We're setting the stage and there's a lot of magic yet to come. And when more people are on board and are flowing just in synchronicity, all of the fighting, all of the struggling, and all of the suffering, one day it'll all come to an end. And people will just be immersed in their doing, in their yogas of doing from a place of love. And stress and anxiety will no longer have a place on this planet. That's even like with the slideshow of the cards. They're on like a random flip. Like I have my tarot deck with me, but if we wanted to do a reading and say, alright, we're going to do this reading in the ultra synchronicity right now for so-and-so, we just start the 11:11 clock and we'd see which cards came up on the slideshow. And we can do readings that way too. Like the Hermit, for example. I feel that has a real collective, the Hermit has a real collective feel to him right now. There's a high degree of change at hand, and higher wisdom must prevail. It's like being away from these deluded ideas of others. which is exactly what the Five of Swords usually is. It's some diluted idea that gains favor and then ends up having power over other people. And the bureaucrat walks away with their new sense of power and a pocket full of cash. And what's left standing on the shore is the entrepreneur, the person with the great ideas, the great sense of spirit and soul, balancing a fine line of abiding by the rules, yet trying to make his way and waiting for his ship to come in. And yet others are here. Fathers, dads on Father's Day wearing that superstar on their chest, Or whether it's that person that your dad or your husband or your man who is like, it's there in that nuclear family energy that we can never let them take that away from us. That's right. A hard day's work, along with that student exchange program I was going for earlier. I think that part of school curriculums should be some like Cool Hand Luke chain gang type stuff going on. Like, okay kids, every day, today we're all picking it, we're going to pick trash on the freeway. It's Tuesday. Bring your lunch. We're going to plant trees. And that should be every Tuesday. Grades 3 through 9, you're going to plant trees. And if you got a doctor's note that says you have hypersensitivity to snowflakes, all right, we'll find something else for you to do. But I think that the understanding of an honest day's work should be mandatory in the education. It doesn't even have to be something that they're learning about. Just the fact of learning that sweat equity of their ancestors, of the people that came before them, that without people that are doing an honest day's work, they wouldn't even have anything to protest against. They wouldn't have anything to be deluded about. There wouldn't be anything to govern if it wasn't for the honest day's work of the blue-collared human beings. So I think that should be mandatory in the education as well. I bet you can't eat 50. If you gave me 50 hours, I could probably do it, but not in an hour. I couldn't do it in an hour. And it doesn't mean that they're going to have to grow up to be a blue-collar person, but it's just growing up enough to have the respect for the people that are doing the essential jobs and that are working hard, and realize that, bread doesn't fall from the sky, well, not anymore. Maybe in the older magical times they said it did in the Bible, but right? Like, where does it all come from? And there would just be like that more of appreciation, like Steve was mentioning. If life was easy, we would appreciate it so much. Instead of Taco Tuesday, it should be, Toughen Up Tuesday. Everybody come along, we're going to plant trees today. Or everybody come along, we're going to mend fences. You're going to learn how to swing a hammer. You're going to learn how to put a shovel into the dirt. Whatever it might be. But God forbid, I should run the country. This place would be a mess. I don't know, what other ideas do you have that you think we could help? Because we gotta help these little ones. We gotta help these children as best we can. God knows the bureaucrats aren't going to do it. They're going to keep them ignorant if they're given the chance. To scoop the horse poop. We were mentioning that earlier, Shannon, where it's like the city, the urban kids, instead of doing like a foreign exchange and going to like Romania or Brazil, you know, if they live in downtown Chicago or San Francisco, they should just have to head out to, 10 miles outside of Tuscaloosa and do it and learn how to ride a horse and learn how to pick up horse poop, and learn how things work out there. We might encourage more respect amongst one another. And said goodnight to the lady. Has she been watching us, Citron? Citron and Steve got new girlfriends. How'd they get new girlfriends and I didn't? Oh wait, I know how. It's because I don't listen to the things I say. I should do that a little bit more. So what we're looking forward to in the future is a bit of a new podcast format. I'm hoping to connect with Christina L. We're going to do a Google Meet so that it's more than just like my monotonous tone on here. We're going to engage in some fascinating conversation. So we've got that going on. The Galactic Federation. Yeah. They got a broke down R8 outside the rings of Saturn. They tried to put one of the hyperdrives in an Audi R8, but it didn't make very far. Dating apps. Galactic Federation. No, that's wonderful. It was just time. It was just time. Aligning your energies is so good. I love this song. Just gonna turn it up a little bit, Steve. Just for this one. Nice. Music will bring the people together. Now we gotta get some of our single ladies in the tribe bumping and happy. It certainly can. But if it's yours, if that synchronicity is coming from that place of oneness, it goes back to it. Any vision, everything, really comes from that inner space. And we're out here abiding with 7.3, fact check my numbers, 7.4 billion autonomous souls. And the planet's big. It's not that big. It's pretty big. I'm on that train too. It's been hard with my Scorpio. Some days I feel like, oh, there's nothing I want more than to share my life and love and hear that feminine voice and feel that feminine touch. And then so I start focusing my energies that way, and then I'm like, what the hell am I doing? You know, there's so much. I got 1,000 years worth of stuff to do and only 100 years to do it. I can't get caught up in this right now. So then I go about and I'm living happy, and then the thought creeps back in. Oh goodness, it'd be nice to have somebody. You know. That's why I like to have mini relationships. I like to have friendships. You know. And the friendships can be as intimate, as romantic as you make them out to be, but casual. Freedom and liberty. At this point in my life anyways. I don't understand how high school sweethearts do it. That stuff blows my mind. Alright, Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you coming in tonight. That was awesome to catch up. I feel like with you and Christina, I really was able to catch up with the solid base of supporters and subscribers of the channel that I really wanted to connect with today. So it's great to have you here. It's awesome. That's right. Loneliness is kind of like the moon. It can wane and then it'll wax. It'll appear and then it'll disappear. And it'll cycle through. It'll come and it'll go. It'll flow. That's right. Intentions are not actions. Absolutely. You gotta do. Or not do. Not doing is still doing. It's just not doing that. Yeah, very philosophical. And Steve, don't forget to drop that link in the comment. I'm excited to see what you got for me. Yeah, that can be a beautiful thing. That can be a beautiful thing. But I'm not gonna play the roulette wheel and bet my happiness that, you know, it has to happen in this particular incarnation. I don't feel that way. It definitely could. It definitely can, and it definitely would be beautiful. But I don't get caught up in that desire. Starting to get late. I'm probably going to wind down the stream. But you know, with the new format, I'm not going to like just cut it off. It's got kind of a good flow and a vibe that I'm going to leave it running, and then you guys can chat if you want to. And we may see some new fishies flow into this little corner of the internet. If it's here, if it's on, if the open sign is lit up, people may just stop by. Buy a ticket, take the ride, spin it to win it. Absolutely. And just live and see what did flow in the synchronicities. Absolutely. Okay, good night, Shannon. Good night, Steve. Thanks so much for coming. I might be dipping out here very shortly as well. It's been a pleasure for you. Oh, I feel warm and fuzzy inside about all this, about today in general. You know, we had the summer solstice. It was Father's Day. It was actually my dad's birthday. He would have been turning, I think, 71 today. Somewhere in there. So it was a really good day. There were huge lightning and thunderstorms going on all around us where I'm at today. It was very dynamic weather. It felt good. Oh, look, as we were talking about that, it says, somebody likes you. Open up Tinder to see who it is. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Alright, this isn't good night, but this is, I'm signing off. We're letting the night DJ take over, and feel free to stay around and chat if you wish. Enjoy the beats, the vibes as much as you wish. But I'm going to go dark, I'm going to go silent for a little while. And I hope to catch you all a couple times at least next week. As always, love, knowingness, and bliss. Good night, everybody.
sitting peacefully in the morning light, asking nothing in return. She's waiting for the hummingbirds to fly by with the most beautiful smile. With the most beautiful smile. When I'm around her, I feel safe. There's a magic river flowing in the gates. She gives me real love all the time. She gives me real love, it's all that matters now. She gives me real love. She's waiting for the hummingbirds to fly by. Poison in talks, let them go now. Follow the music. Forget about those people try to bring you down. Just follow the music. Poison in talks, let them go now. Follow the music. Forget about those people trying to bring you down. Just follow the music. Follow the music. She's waiting for the hummingbirds to fly by, sitting peacefully in the moonlight, asking nothing in return. She's waiting for the hummingbirds to fly by. With such a beautiful smile. She gives me real love all the time. 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 mind. You know I can only give what I have. I'm sorry I was late today. I didn't get to see you dance the waltz. Spinning around the living room all dressed up in your mother's clothes. Oh, you know I love her even when we fight. When I get home to you, I just wanna hold you and love hearing you calling my name. Here I am. I wish I had the world to give you, baby. I don't even have the time to tell you bedtime stories or to chase away the monsters from your mind. Oh, you know I can only give what I have. When I get home to you, I just wanna hold you and love hearing you calling my name. Here I am.